In this video, I'm going to attempt to disassemble and repair this Diamond Select £400 model. Well, that's what they go for, I think, but model of the Enterprise from All Good Things. Now, my work is cut out because there was a battery leak in here. The electrics do work, so I'm hoping it's just going to be something simple. It's getting into this, which is the problem, but let's see what I can do without destroying it. Hi guys, Ralph here. Right, this is my Enterprise D All Good Things Dreadnought Battle Cruiser. I don't know what the blooming hell it is. This is the Diamond Select 3-nacelled Enterprise D from the last episode of Next Generation. If you watched the other video for this, I'm not sure what in sequence, but this will obviously be definitely after that one. But we showed that this was working. We showed that it got a battery leak in the compartment down here, on the battery compartment, and it was attempted fixed by the previous owners. There was a battery leak up here as well with the small battery pack. I need to do a general clean and a general repair and strip down and see what I can do with this. So I don't know where to start. I need to strip out with the magnets, because they're both magnets. Magnet in there, magnet inside here, which has its own issues. We do have a a screw cover missing from there, but I'm going to attempt to make one. I could probably make one if I can remove this one here, and if I'm going inside this, I'm going to have to remove that anyway. I don't know how this goes together, because that looks like it screws two halves together, and then there'll be a wiring, but this is obviously loose as well, but I'm not sure if this was ever meant to be secured on there. I mean, I could probably put some super glue behind and force in, but then that makes this permanent, and I don't think it will be able to be stripped down. So what I need to do is the stuff that comes off of here normally, like the battery compartment there and the battery compartment here, I need to strip off, and we need to get started on this and see where I can go. We're a little bit in now. Battery compartments are off. I'm noticing that I think we've got away with the battery leak on the small pencil watch battery sort of sized ones. There's a little bit of corrosion right on, let's have a look, the center middle one. There's a little bit on there, but luckily it was kind of just on the edge and it's come off, and I've cleaned out with isopropanol, which should nicely stop everything. So that doesn't look, I don't know why that's like that. I do want to get in to see why that bit's come up and it's not. It might be just production, it might just be it's kind of not done that. I'll give them the entire surface as well. I'm trying to say that while my hand was in the way. The whole surface has a bit of a clean with isopropanol, not too much, but enough to splattered there as well. That's not good. I don't want too much because it might take the paint off with the isopropanol. As you look there, that's not just dirt, that's also paint as well. So it's almost taking the top layer off. If I do too much, I'll be left with a plastic model. I don't want to do too over the top for a full restoration, because this is a painted one. The Enterprise D that came from Playmates back in the 90s was moulded in that colour. Oh dear, this really isn't looking good at all. With just splattered there with trying to the battery compartment. Hopefully it'll dry better. Yeah, it was made in that specific colour, which is this colour, which is good. But also means that if you're going to paint, you've got to be exactly the right shade. Oh, that's better. It was just a little bit dirty. Could have done with using soap and water instead of isopropanol. I have noticed as well that if you look at the guns on top, this one has drooped. Well, it's actually probably been squashed in either, I don't think in transit, I think it's just been put that way because it was just stored badly over time. Like this front part here, it's black on here, right on the edge. So if I do isopropanol, a little bit on the tissue, it's either gonna rub that off or rub the paint off, and to be honest, it's getting a bit shiny. So I think it's rubbing the paint off. So I might paint over that. There's a couple of little markings here as well. So it just generally needs a little bit of touch-up fettling. The main part is in here, but luckily this isn't the painted part anyway. So this is the battery compartment. That pin there has been replaced, but basically it's the spring, and I can actually take this out now, I suppose. I think what they've done is just twisted some wire around and just forced it in there to make a contact. Yes, it has. So yeah, you can see in there, it should have been the same as this one on the right. It isn't, it's corroded. I have replacements for that. So just going to give this one a little bit of, does it need a bit of a spruce? Tiny bit of effort, nothing much, it's stored well. Because most of it, the sauce is showing everything anyway. So that's not too bad, I don't think. Yeah, I think that's all right. I think I'm gonna leave that as is. So, parts out already, tissue away. There's a propanol, can get hung back up over there, so I don't need that for a little bit longer. I would like to strip this down a lot more to get to that battery compartment, but I think I'm going to start over here on the saucer. Now, question, how do I get this split in two? Where every time I'm putting this down there, I am damaging that even more. It even looks like the seam there is cracked, so I need to, at the end, probably warm this up and move this up. And so they are a little bit flexible anyway, but do I go in or not? Yeah, let's go in. I think I need to put a towel down or something. I have a towel over here. Yes, towels are good. Always know where your towel is. No, it's a dirty towel. Doesn't matter at all. Stops things scratching from this. Right, I have 5 screw covers there, which I need to try and remove. A scalpel is not the best option to do, because I think most of these have been put in place, dab of glue behind them, and then it's been done. I don't think that removes either. So let me have a look, see if I can get into this. If not, this will stay as is, and we need to do more on the star drive section. So after a lot of thought and faffing and attempting not to destroy this, I have given up on the idea of removing these 5 screw covers, because it's an absolute nightmare. These will be push fit into place, they'll be tight push fit. It's getting into there with something thin like a spudger and getting inside the whatever's exposed. I'm 99% certain that these will have had a drop of super glue behind them as well and pushed in, done, happy. So they are not loose at all. I'm not pouring isopropyl in there to loosen the super glue, which would work. I know there's a gap on there as well, which isn't good. So I don't know why it's doing that. I could quite easily just dab a bit of super glue at the front there. It does snap close quite well, so it's okay. It would just be a little bit there, maybe a little bit over here, but at the moment I'm leaving that. I've put some vinegar on the contacts there just in case, because there was a little bit of corrosion. That will stop any of the acid going through having the vinegar on. So yes, that's sorted and done. So at the moment this is going to stay as it is. I need to find some batteries for this. I don't know if I've got any batteries for this or not. Got a big pot of batteries here, and a lot of them don't or do. Don't know what batteries they were actually. Were the AG3s? I hope they are, because I've got them. Yeah. Luckily, this being a video that I've done just after the review video, I know that these are LR44s, which I've actually got, strangely enough, 3 of. Cool. In they go. So those are going to go there. Happy, happy. I've also put some heat onto this piece and gently pulled it up. So we've now got them level. I mean, this, I'm nearly certain, batteries, I'm nearly certain that this is probably cracked along this little seam line on there, which you can see. I don't want to glue up. If I did, I would bend this all the way down, put some glue in and force it back up again. But at the minute, it seems pretty much solid as the other one. So I'm going to leave that as. It's just obviously it's been down like that occasions, or it's been packed and something on top of it. Let me see if I can get this thing working and put some batteries in. Right, I've gone back a little step now. I've reattached the spring back in the battery pack. It's not screwed in place. I've turned it on. Things are lit up nicely. Okay, so batteries in there. I need to test whether or not this actually works with the batteries in. So, as I remember before, just turn it off. You just basically get it together and the magnets just clump together. And Cool. So that actually works. The only biggest thing I have a problem with on here is the light leak on that. It's horrible. But also the battery on here, the switch is quite tight on this, so it actually gets stuck. I need to pause a second. I've got a wasp in here. Sorry about that. I have actually got a wasp nest in the roof above me. There's material. Oh, it's an outside garage, but there's a roof, pitch roof, and I have material, insulation, and whatever else. But there's a wasp nest. Decided to live there. So this works with this. As I was saying, the button on here just seems to be a little. Actually, am I pressing it wrong? The pressing it down on that part seems fine. If I'm doing there, it kind of sticks like it does there. If I just press there instead, it might be fine. Okay. So I'm worried about why the lights are on all the time, but why prepare? I've just done it. So this all works. That disconnects, it doesn't show whatever. Oh, that still goes. Okay, but that stays on anyway. I hope that turns off one way or the other. So we know that works. That's good. I hope these don't work completely separate. They turn off. Is this not fully connected to there then? There's got to be some sort of pattern that make these flash. It did dim a little bit. I'm not convinced this actually is properly connected to that. But the lights just don't turn off. So, So for the time being, I'm taking that off. That's gone. And then we're going to try and sort out this. So back on to removing this. Take the batteries out. So things do seem to work, but I do need to look inside here. If there's been an issue with this, with the battery leak, so be it. So, how to take this off? See, again, you've got panels there, you've got screws, 2 screws there. I thought this entire section would come off, but it doesn't. I'm going to start with trying to... I need to stop the video a second. With me being in here, I can hear another wasp, and I don't want it stung. So I'm going to just pause there and sort something out. Sorry.
A few moments later.
Okay. Anybody who's stuck this far into the video, thank you very much. It's now... I don't know, is it a month later? I think it's over a month later. The wasp nest is almost gone. It's not gone yet. So I'm risking it at the moment, but I've got to carry on and do stuff. If there's a wasp that comes along, I'll just pause the video, there's some weird edits and stuff like that, and I will just whiz round here with a towel to whack its arse, basically. So, where were we? Right, the saucer we're done. I don't want to bend or break that even more than what it is. I took the batteries out of that, I think. I took the batteries out of all of them anyway. Its main part on this is twofold. I'm happy enough the way the saucer is. I could do a little bit more clean, but to be honest, I use isopropanol. I really must stop using that. Must use something a little less abrasive, something that'll get rid of muck. So we'll get rid of that a second. The main 2 parts on this, I'm not going to go into this because I don't fully know which ones the panels are. I thought that might have been one, but I can't get into there, but it's glued. Most of these parts, if you see right there where my thumb is, it's glued, so I'd have to break the parts to get them. So I need to get, I don't care about any of the others, it's this one here I need to get off. And I know that spring is already knackered. If I could get in, fine. But there's 2 things we need to do, is repair that, clean up some crap, and take out the stand part. So, shall we just get on with the stand part at the minute? I'm going to try some long pliers. This should pull out unless whoever owned this before has got... Be careful on there. Ah! Okay. That's a rare win. It's a very rare win. I was thinking that might have been stuck in with it being like that. Now, the stand, I have parts for this. I'm going to clamp that to there, glue that onto there, and then it'll be a stand as it is. But I could take off that one from there and put it on there. I need to oil that, I need to heat that, I need to do something to make it a little bit more pliable. But at the minute, we're going to leave that a second. I don't want to rush through this video, because I quite like repairing stuff like this. I'm going to keep that there. Right, I need some tweezers, some decent, some tweezers. We know this works, it works fine. So the guy put a coil on here, which is just that. That is now officially going in the bin. That's what just to test it with, it says. In the bin it goes. I could get into this somehow. There's a screw there and there's a screw there, but that is going to be nearly impossible to get to. I am going to have to try and prise this up and hope that the cable is long enough to come out. Can we get my hand in there to properly? No, can't properly do that. I mean, it does look rather... It will come off from the plastic. I don't care about any little scratchy parts inside the battery compartment, as long as it's not battery related. That's getting tricky, actually. It's all bent and squashed into shape. That is loose. That was good. So while I was doing that, I could get underneath it. There we go. I think I said at the beginning of this video, this is not going to be a quick video. There goes my tweezers going the wrong way. Right, that's away from the battery compartment. I want to try and pull this up, try and get this out. See, that's what it's supposed to look like, that one. These are all individuals, reg. But if I can get this out, I'll be happy. Now, give me a minute. I'll do another cut there. No wasp watch, by the way. So I'm gonna see if I can pull that out better. Because I think the other alternative is this bottom section comes off. Oh no, not up there. That would be terrible if that came out all the way up there. I'd have to remove. Yeah, let me have a think of what I can do, and I'll come back to you. Okay, I made a breakthrough. Right, I've got the pliers on here. It was kind of stuck inside the battery compartment, the corroded part. I mean, it did work as it was, but it needed to be taken off and put a spring on anyway. So yes, hey ho, and those are the parts at the end where it was stuck to the cable. Hooray! Doesn't work, so that can go in the bin. I also, to try and take that out, put some WD-40 on there, just to try and loosen things up a little bit. And at the same time, I figured out that this part here, because I sprayed across in this corner, which some was soaked underneath, I didn't realise WD-40 loosens super glue. Right, so we got that one out, same on that one, the same on this one. However, you might notice there's a little bit of stuff over here. I am a clumsy sod, and there's a scalpel there as well with interesting stuff on it. Yeah, so kids, if your grown-ups are doing this sort of stuff in the house, please stop them and do it for them, please, because I've sliced right across there, because I was kind of there, holding it, then gone whoosh straight across, kind of there-ish is it? I think it's probably across there. Just above where the nuttly bit is, straight across, and it didn't stop bleeding. So kids, if you see your parents doing this sort of stuff, help them out, because we're clumsy sods on a good day. Now the other one. So these basically, there's 4 screw covers here. I can't find. Oh, you must have noticed this bit as well. I was hoping the cable might have been inside this, so I've kind of channeled away a little bit, try and find the cable to make it easy without taking those off. But no. But there are 4 screws here, which hopefully will lift this front part up. I can see the cable and then pull up. That's the theory. But this is what I wanted to do to start with, is try and take these off. So, oh, you silly sod. I mean, I've got to... Between the month that this started and now, I've had an operation on an ingrowing toenail, so I've got bandage on that. That's why I'm now recording videos, and that's great. I've got blood splattered on here as well. Oh, and I've cut across there as well, the scalpel. You are joking me. I can hear a wasp. Back again. Right above my head. I'm just going to ignore it. If it comes down here, it can be on video. So it does soften a little bit. I can see bits coming off, but I can also see me cutting into my thumb. I did cut into my thumb as well, yes. Clumsy is my middle name. It kind of turns the super glue into jelly. So, yeah. So I'm going to wedge that off. Once that's done, I'll try and remove the 4 screws and see if I can get anywhere. Success! I know. I'll put a plaster on that one as well. I was hoping today, because this is now a long video, to get lots and lots of videos done. So everyone, the videos I'm going to say, injuries, see this video. So 4 screws are out. Got the last one off. I've cleaned up some super glue because I will be putting them back on, and I will be super gluing them back in place as it was. So the 4 screws are out. This will not come off. I'm 99% sure this will not fully come off. However, that lifts out. What does this part do there? I think there's probably a screw coming straight down. So this would have to remove, so that probably the disassembly is probably going to be, take that one out, remove that one. So then this hopefully would come off, but there may be something holding the neck down to itself, but this part here is added on. The whole thing about this is they built the first model, then added these extra on, just like the original model they did, but they didn't smooth down the edges. So what I want to find in here, there's a piece of plastic in there as well. Cool. That stops that rattling. I want to find the positive cable, and it will be in here someplace. Please don't tell me you got 2. Yes. Got lights with cables going that way and lights with cables going that way. I want the one that's underneath the battery pack, which I can actually take out now. Ha! That's what those screws, you can't see it there and there are. So I can take the battery pack out without doing any more damage. Yeah, if you've seen one of my videos before, you'll figure these things out. Let's have a look. Can that go around there, out of the way a little bit? Possibly. Okay. So you've got 2 LEDs on there. At least they use LEDs. The older stuff for the Playmates were bulbs. I mean, LEDs back in the 90s were probably quite expensive. Just trying to get rid of a lot of the WD-40 on here without too much trouble. So the cheapest option was a bulb, and these bulbs went very yellow very quickly, and they weren't that good. So hence nowadays you can upgrade and do what you want with them. So my next option is, I've even widened out these little holes as well a little bit, so they should push straight back in. And there's 4 of them. The one that nearly killed me was that one. Hooray! So I'm going to lift this, undo them 2 screws, and have a look. Okay, battery compartment out, and there is my cable right there, the black one, which should be a positive, but that is now going to go threaded straight through there, and I can resolder the part in, unless there's another cable I've racked off. No. So that can be done afterwards. If I am clever enough, I will leave now and run for the hills. Put this back together and run for the hills. I've also just noticed as well, right in the back here, there's like a vent, but that's a button. And underneath here, if you can see under the battery pack, I'll try and, let's have a look. There, where the end of the screwdriver is, that is a switch. There's a push button switch. I don't know what that does. Never realised it was there. So what I do, I'm going to run for the hills, because inside there, if you can see, and if it helps you with any guides in the future, fine. Behind, right inside here, there's a circuit board, which you can't fully see, but let me get a torch in there a little bit. Not get my hands in the way. No, I can't get that, can I? The angles that it is just impossible to get something decent. But I can see it, it's there, it's fine, it's happy, it's having its holiday. So, let's put this back together. My cable's through, I can repair that now, and I'm happy with that. And there's tons of cable coming out there. Like I say, I don't want to go too far with this, just want to repair what's wrong with it, and then try not to make other things wrong with it as well. Yeah, happy days. It's okay, it's fine. So the cable's there, put it back together, screws it back in, everything looks nice and solid. I've got one of these springs. I actually bought a full bag of these on eBay, and none of them fit because they're all for AA's, and this is a AAA battery thing. Can't get rid of all this WD-40 spread. Funny thing about it is it's a wonder thing for taking rid of super glue, just with a bit of patience. It just goes everywhere. It'll eventually dry up. So I have soldered on a new spring clip for the negative side. That's why it's black, as down here it used to say negative. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to thread through the cable with some tweezers, and I'm going to push that into this slot here. And where my butchery is gone, at least it's not gone as far as it not going, it will stay in the right place. So I'll get you out a little bit so you can see better, and I can not worry about you. And I hope this will go in fine. It's already soldered in place, nice enough, but it's not that good a metal, so any flexible, it will probably come off anyway. So just tuck it behind those bits there. If it will go, yeah, there it goes. And that is done. I hope that, yes, now that is, just double check that on there, that you can see that. Good, cool. I'm not going to bother doing anything with that. I know it was a mistake, but I'm going to leave it as is. The wire's still on, I can still see it. Maybe I should put a dab of glue. No, I want a dab of glue in there, but no, I'll be able to see it myself, but no, I don't think it's needed. Batteries time, testing. Nothing but the best batteries for this. These are new leader, extra heavy duty, 0% mercury apparently. So let's go you in there. So it's in try me mode. I'm going to put it in play mode. Let's see what that button does. Well, it either does nothing or it doesn't do anything. Now I think I took the batteries out of the source, so let's have a look, see if anything works on this. Why is that not working? Because that's not down properly. Right, we have lights. I don't know what that button does. So reset? No. Oh. That explains something. Explains why the lights were always on. Alexa, garage off. Okay. And that's a stupid thing to do because the wasps are still around. And by the way, I've got rid of 2. Yeah. So lights come on. Try me button. I hate that try me button. Well, that. There we go. Deflector works. That's not a bad model in the dark. So yeah, it is a turn on and off button switch. So if the batteries are in the saucer, I know it's dark in here, but if they're still in the saucer behind the shuttle bays, it should do the undocking. No, I remove them. Or they've gone flat exceptionally quickly. Alexa, garage on. Anybody with a smart speaker, I do apologise. So that bit's done as well, so cool. All I need to do is put these panels back on place and put the battery cover over and then leave it alone. Did I not? I don't think I did replace them, you know. I don't think I think they are still in here. Let me just double check. If they've gone... And this run's battery is extremely thirsty. Is that the easiest thing to do? And I've dropped them on the floor. Flat blade and screwdriver, please. Yeah, there they are. Please tell me this hasn't gone flat that quickly. We have heard the docking sequence, undocking and docking noises. Actually just did it a little bit as well then. So far, I'm happier. This isn't the end, this isn't even halfway through this, so this is why it's going to be a very long video. Now I'm guessing that that is probably, oh, because that's out in the way a little bit. It definitely works, it's just unfortunately it is. Oh, my batteries are crap, they really are. One day I'll get some decent batteries for this and I will show you properly, but that's not until the end. Right, what I'm going to do is the moment withdraw, come on Ralph, remove them, put the battery cover on, put these parts on, and then we'll go to the next part. This is definitely an epic video, this one. I've gone through a war with the oh, I hate that, that's better. I've gone the war with, oh, just looking at the context on back of here, war with wasps, and I've gone through everything else. This is almost done, and what I'm going to do is pour resin in there, and I'm going to make a new stand. Simple as that, you say. Thank you. So let me get it set up, this done, and this set up to a right angle to pour resin in there. Oh no, there's holes as well. It's going to go straight into it. Oh no, it's not. Yes, it will. We'll see what happens. I need to do something and make one of them. I could take that off and potentially... Oh, there's another ruddy wasp here. I thought these are gone. Back into... Enterprise back together. I have some resin. Now, what I want to do is one part I'm going to remove this so then I can make a cast from that, but use this as the cast so it'll cast onto this. So I'm not going to really faff around too much with the size and whatever. It will move, but I'm going to WD-40 it to try and oil it, to try and maybe get this off of here. It should come off, I'm hoping somehow. So with that off, I can just use resin to make another one of those, or at least another one of the top bits of those. Also with the resin out as well, I'm going to pour it in here. I've checked that these two holes either side are definitely not straight through, so I won't be pouring for England. I could probably use the WD-40 on that and make a copy from that, but there's no point, there's no decking or anything, so it won't be a straight copy from it. So I'm just going to fill the hole, because I will never ever, nobody will ever go in there, I hope. So the inside is done, looks happy. I am pleased with the main fault with this, and I'm finding others. So I'm going to mix some resin, try and stand this up like that so it's perfectly straight up, pour some little bit of resin into that hole there to fill it up to a level. That will eventually be painted, same as these parts will be painted. Oh, such a pain in the bum. So I need to set up, get that mixed, and do both at the same time. And to be honest, that's, after days of drying, after painting, will be the end of it. So yeah, let's have a look, see if I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to show you this part now or whether or not jump forward a little bit, but we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to start setting up and see what I can do. Now, while setting up, I've just done that one, which came off quite easily. So I put the WD-40 down the hole on the bottom side of this part here, very gentle with some very heavy duty pliers, because I want this as the I actually want to keep both stands. So in and just ease that WD-40 inside there, make sure it's moving. I hope this goes the same as the last one. So that's now a lot more freer than what it was originally. It says that before it snaps. Bit of force that way at the same time. I didn't care about that one, but I do need that. I should put some tape underneath this. It's not scratching it. Did actually come off rather easy. There you go. Done. So it's just a tight fit, and look around there. There's some proper strain on that. That one is fine. So what I need to do, because I've got both these now, these can go away for a little bit. I need to make a mould with that, clean it up, make a mould, and I want to exact duplicate that. But then put this in at the same time. I could make an entire full one, but I want it to merge with this, hopefully. So I don't want to do the inside as well. There is an inside part which forced into there anyway, but that looks like it's glued in. So I need to make a copy of that, but around that. Easier said than done, I suppose. Now I'm all ready. Mixing the resin, a little bit of resin in here. I've done my mould in blue tack. So that was basically a big blob blue tack. Stick that in, boom, right to the edge of there, and that will go the other part here, because there's a hole through the middle. Blue tack to stop the hole filling up, and I'll put that on top, and then Bob is your ant. That's what I should do with pushing that in, to try and get the part of there right. Does it matter if it's too thick? No, it doesn't. Well, I can have a go at that. Figure something out. So I need to make sure this is mixed right. Get this on its side, pour into there as well, and done. So I'll come back in a few moments where I'll be done. And obviously it'll be tomorrow or the day after anyway. So with my filming, because I'm finally getting to the garage, I've just had a war with 7 wasps. And I thought they were done. I thought they were really done, but they're not. They're attracted by the light. So make sure you mix your... I've got a towel just in case. I've got to know when my towel is. Once this is poured on, everything's set and done and happy, I will paint over the best I can. So I'm using a pair of tweezers just because they're at first thing to hand. They're going to be a pain in the backside to clean back up again, but yeah. I'm in a good mix, 50-50 of what the epoxy I've got. Mine's mainly for, it's all the same crap anyway, so it's fine for whatever you want to use it for. But this says it's jewellery, but it's just the same epoxy resin, 2-part epoxy, clear. It says crystal clear, which is usually pretty good for this sort of stuff anyway. So hopefully it should be alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this past the hole in the middle and a little bit on the lip on the edge. Maybe it needs to go a bit further in with that, actually. No, I'm happy with that. Now, it's a new day, and this is ready. Well, I'm hoping these are ready. Right, so the resin poured into here for the cover of the... That's a new bandage, by the way. Hello. That's kind of... It's not flat as I'd like it, but it's a little bit domed, but it's covered over, and that will paint rather well anyway. Could maybe have... I got a funny feeling it actually went behind the screw, but it's kind of covered anyway, so that'll just get a little dab of paint, the right colour over there anyway, and this will be done. So the other part is this. This was the stand. I've actually put on, I'm not sure if I wanted to or not, but I think with the strain on that, I've moved the part which was there, which is, yeah, onto here. So it's the bigger stand, although you don't put that on there, but you put it on the back part. So that now will stand perfectly. There's a lot of wobble on it. I watched somebody's video earlier, and it's literally, it's just wobbling all the time. But that has so much movement now. With it being oiled, I'm kind of keen on it. You wouldn't put it on that hole anyway with the saucer on. You'd put it on that hole. Right. But you wouldn't put it on that hole. Actually, it might look quite nice, actually. So, that's actually ready, and this is only the spare just in case. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. But I'm not entirely sure if this has worked or not. There's overspill over there, but I can trim that back anyway. So, I'd say if it has worked, it has. If it hasn't, it was an attempt, and I could easily make another one of these. Let's get some tweezers on the inside, because I didn't want the resin coming through, which we haven't, which is good. Put that there. Actually, no, put that there. I do hope this has worked. If it hasn't, we'll just use one stand. Now, has it worked? No, it hasn't. Okay. because nothing's stuck to that. I think I've got the plastic part here. Has anything worked on this? I mean, I know this video's going on long enough. I do like doing a long video. I do wish you guys would watch some of the long videos. It would be really nice and helps the channel out. Not with the adverts or anything, that's not me, that's YouTube. And, let me spend 5 minutes taking things apart and see what I can do. Maybe even putting that on, because there is actually a lip on there. I could actually maybe stick that to what's left on there. Quick cut. Now, I'll try my best on this, and unfortunately, the pin bit just kind of didn't set right. That's why it came off. It's a little bit rubbery. If I left it long enough, it probably would, but I think that is definitely a failure. But it was an attempt, it was a try. I mean, it would have, I'd have trimmed the edges down. It's similar to what we needed, but that's not long enough at all. It probably needs to be up there to be same sort of length as that. I mean, it's not far off, but it needs to be flat on here and not inside that. So, yeah, a little bit of failure, but you learn. There might have been a bubble stuck underneath it or something. I'm not quite sure. So it wanted to be about there. Sort of, yes. Hello, finger. So that's a failure anyway. I never realised you can actually put the second stand, because I didn't get this free, brand new in the box, inside here. So what I'm going to do is just store this away and have both stands in one go. Cool. So the resin did set. This is the hockey puck that is left over. There's loads of these. There's a little bit of wet in the centre, but it was obviously there's a bit of air in there anyway. But that's not the reason. But what I'm going to do now is last part. The stand is ready. Is paint that. Now what I need is a paintbrush and some paint. Now I've got some white. Great. I've got some blue. 2 darker blue, and that's 2 greener blue. So what I'll do is, should they just shook up well, is I'll drop a bit of the blue on here. This I can easily wipe clean anyway. Yes, that's very, very dark, but I'd rather have the dark blue on to start with, and then the light white to bring it up to colour. Something to mix. A small screwdriver. Now that is way too dark. So add more white. Or maybe add a bit of white and even less blue. I mean that. It's light blue green. I'm not trying that. I want this blue. I think this blue is the right one, but I want very, very little of it. So oh, that's good. That is really, really good in the middle there. So you can see, I'll probably do more mixing anyway. It's, yeah, too dark. Wants to be lighter as well, I think. There's a bit of grey in there as well, I think. This is a thing with this model, it's that the colourings are all over. So, yeah. I mean, it is a duck egg blue for the actual original. That's not bad. But that's for the filming model. When it's in space, it's completely different. So it looks grey, hence the problems for model builders. So let's get a little bit out. Let's try this, shall we? Very, very light. No, that's too light. Really, really too light, that. Try that on the edge. Bit of that. Mix them together. Yeah, this is grey more than anything, isn't it? It's not blue at all. Let's try some light grey. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, it is definitely a grey. So that is blended in rather well. I probably will do another colour, another coat on top of that, but you know what? For display purposes, I will never see the difference. I mean, I hope these are matte. I'm sure they're all matte, these anyway. I bought a hell of a lot of matte for the Build the Enterprise kit. So they just look shiny because they're wet. And that will definitely dim itself down. Yeah, there were a bit of air bubbles in there. It's a shame that the actual resin bit didn't... That's really good match, that, to be honest. I don't know if that's coming across on the camera, but apart from it looking wet, I think that's fine. Says that while he's over there. Camera's over there. Excuse me, over there. Yeah, I need to leave it alone. Let it settle itself down. Is there anywhere else that I need to paint while I've got the right colour? I don't think there is. Inside there, no. These boxes, no. Yeah, I'm going to leave that to set. If it comes up gloss, then we'll have another coat. But I think we're nearly done on this. Yeah. I'm near happy with that. Okay, we're this stage now. This, as far as I'm concerned, is done. I did a better match with the colour on the side of there. That's a second coat on there. I'm happy enough with that. It's kind of, could have been flat, but now it just looks as bad as the rest of the screw covers on the entire model. Yeah, this should work fine. The batteries I had in before are... I don't think these will work in here. I think I did take them out. I might have took them out of there, but what I'm going to do is I've got something nice. I've got some fresh batteries from Amazon. So I'm going to put batteries in this and we'll test this, run it, play with it, and then we should hopefully be all done. And I can get away from having poilies and wasps and all sorts of gubbins that this really shouldn't have took as long as what it did for. But it's not bad, I think. I think I've done the effort. Ta-da! We are on the stand. Both stands together. We're on the back hole, which balances this quite nicely. The stand actually is quite very, very loose. But this kind of wants some usual dirt and grime in there, to be honest. I think I've fixed that too well. So let's start off. I'll press the button to turn this on. That looks good. So no parts on this. Oh, it's lit up, yes, but I'm going to transfer this to the front hole. Oh, why does that not want to move? That's quite tight in that. So I'm putting it to the front hole, because you all know what's coming next. Here comes the saucer section. That is terrible. Turn you off and press a button, go through sounds.
Engage cloak.
Ooh.
Raise the shield. Set a course for Federation Space Warp 13. Engage cloak.
All gone through. As you can see, the navigation deflector on there as well lights up. Let's put all the lights on. It's a shame there's no bridge, no lights around here. And also on the back, we've got some light reflectant on the front here from the navigation deflector, and we have all the impulse engines on the back, all fully working. Now, I said this was working, but it wasn't. It was bodged to when we got this. I'm actually really happy. Yeah, I really do need to mount it that way. But unfortunately, it will probably snap off because the weight's forward if it's gone too far forward. the model does need, the stand part there does need to be clogged up with average, everyday crap, shall we say. So you can take off, you can display it on the front one. I wouldn't recommend it because you've got a lot of, well, you could probably stand it up like that actually, because if it's on the ground and the back end is touching a worktop, yeah, you can display it that way. Just like that. Back end is there, that's there. There is no strain at all on the stand. Cool. If not, then it comes off and
Separate the saucer section.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I can attempt again in my own time to maybe do another stand, maybe do another top part of that stand if I want to. At present, I don't, because I know this video is going on for too long. And I know you guys probably won't. If you've gone this far, then please message in the description, let's say gamma, okay? If you got that far, then I know who stops till the end. Bless. For the price of this, for this cost, I think it was 90 something pound. It's not bad, I don't think. Was it worth the war with the wasps? No. Was it worth nearly slicing my finger off? No. But I'm happy enough with the results, and I'm happy enough that I've actually finally got one of these again. Now all I do is find the other one, and then see, apparently, as I did have him before, the saucer on this will fit onto the other one, and vice versa. So, yeah, could easily do that. Right, that's me done. Before I find anything else wrong with this, and I'll end up crying about it, thank you for watching. Thank you for getting this far. Please like, share, subscribe, follow me on whatever media's out there that I can reply to. And please consider being a Patreon, being a donator, being a YouTube member to help out me and the channel as much as you possibly can. And I will probably see you in another video. Bye-bye for now.